that are city-sponsored. And finally, we are going to stop spending money on lawyers at the airport. It creates a bad business climate, and it is directly affecting John Q. taxpayer. And in this economic recession, we need to make sure that we are responsible with every single dollar that is there.
Thank you, AJ. And David, how can the airport turn from a liability to an asset? And would you make any changes in airport management?
Regarding the user fee, the first I actually heard about that idea was when it was reported to me by several people who saw it on AJ's website. I have never mentioned to anyone anything about a user fee or a tax at the airport. Never. Not my idea. Sorry. When the cost of running any organization exceeds the money coming in, you have to essentially more events at the airport, bringing more people out there. Making the airport a gem that attracts more and more pilots, more and more businesses who want to come, who want to operate there. It's already a jewel. Let's make it a gem. Let's make it sparkle, like Martin says. A restaurant out there where the airport became a destination. People on trips would travel down here, stop there, and get an airport meal and they'd be on their way. What about the management out there? Well, it is essentially the city administrator's job to review the airport manager each year. We would need to sit down and really go through that review and find out, how's the manager doing? Does that need to be changed? Does that need to be encouraged? We need the best manager we can at the airport. No question about it. The change needs to be made. If not, we need to encourage that person to become the very best manager we can possibly have. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And now we're going to stay with the airport theme, but we're going to move to the counselors here, and the question is a little different. And it goes to Jacob. Do you view mediation as an option for resolving the airport litigation?
Oh, my goodness, Doug, yes. I mean, I know it's coming from a lawyer, but I see a couple other lawyers popped up in the room, too. So, yes, mediation is the route to take right now. We should have taken the mediation route before we signed on to spend $100,000 on a Part 16 response. And now we're tacking on more money on top of that $100,000 we agreed to spend. Now we're in a lawsuit, breach of contract issue between Eugene Skydivers and the city of Creswell on the same issue. The plaintiff's asking for $735,000. That's a lot of money, and our attorneys don't come cheap. We don't need to have attorneys coming to our meetings all the time. I'm very surprised to see that we pay an attorney about $750 to show up in 2 hours in the meeting, half an hour each way traveling, $250 an hour. It's very surprising to me. We need to quit our habit, our addiction on attorneys, and instead collaborate, work together as a community, and yes, mediation is the best route. I guarantee it.
Moving on to Jane. Do you view mediation as an option for resolving the airport litigation?
I have always stood by mediation. I have talked to the owner of Eugene Skydivers, Irvin Moore, who was more than willing to mediate. According to Mayor Hooker and other people on the council, they kept saying he would not talk. He would not speak to anybody. He would not mediate. But that was not true. He would mediate. And I'm still hoping that he will mediate and we can meet him somewhere on that.
Thank you, Jane. Moving on to Jack. Do you view mediation as an option for resolving the airport litigation?
Not at this time. It's too far gone. We've had too much bickering the whole way through this airport with the Skydivers. And unfortunately, it's going to be settled in courts, I have a funny feeling.
Thank you. And moving to Nora, do you view mediation as an option for resolving the airport litigation?
Mediation, not litigation.
Need to speak into the microphone if you would, please.
Mediation, not legal avenue. I was at the February 14th meeting when they had an attorney from Denver, Colorado, who was, they were going to pay for to fight keeping the airport open. And everybody in the room was filled. I think there was standing room only. And one person wanted the airport closed. The rest of the people in that room wanted it left open. They still rubber stamped this motion and pushed it through and paid the $100,000 for that lawyer. It's absolutely ridiculous. There were people in that room that offered to help with the mediation, people that were airport people that knew about, the ins and outs of all kinds of things having to do with the airport. And no, they didn't want to do it. And Urban Moore does and did want to mediate. So this is totally ridiculous.
And Alan, same question. Do you view mediation as an option for resolving the airport litigation?
Well, I certainly think it's an option, and I think it's the best option. It takes communication between the two parties that are involved, and sometimes things do, I'm sorry, Jacob, get to the point of needing attorneys, but if we can avoid it, we should. Mediation should be what we should pursue.
All right, this is our 7-minute stretch break. The bathrooms are out that way. That's the clock we're